Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have Democrats choosing a pro-gay, pro-choice, pro-BLM representative to try to win back male voters. Which, yeah, that's not going to work. The party that hates men is trying to win them back, and the party that, again, you look at where they lost the most, past couple presidential elections, men are overwhelmingly going to, Republican Party. Also, the Democrat Party can't even define what a woman or a man is, so all this comes with thanks to Libs of TikTok, and she says, quote, Democrat activist Olivia Julianna is now advising Democrats how to win over young men. She says conservative men are pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, pro-BLM. Yeah, not so much. It's but maybe they'll give us a very articulate, very smart reasoning of how they will rebuild the Democrat Party and lure men to vote for them, even though that's a party that wants you to give up your guns, give up your freedom, and not also, steal your opportunities away. Obviously not, but let's hear what they have to say.
The reason why Republican messaging resonates with men is because men want bad things, right? It's like men want to have sex and like own women, right? Like they want to dominate everybody. And Republicans say, you get to do that. And then Democrats can't say that. So we just lost men. It's over, right? Like, what are you talking about? Like a lot of times it will be men that are liberals who will like agree with that shit. I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like there's a lot of men that don't think that way, obviously.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, the Republican Party is not the party of slavery. If you like a history book, you'll see who was.
Obviously, and it's just such a negative view to take on like half of the human race.
Well, I also think it's just so abundantly clear that.
So they're going to try to win over you're going to win over male voters. Now, men are not perfect, obviously. Neither are women. Men are, in many ways, a visual creature. Yeah, so she's a very large white gal with a couple chins, and she has a t-shirt with a Chicago flag on it, which, yeah, Chicago is not the pinnacle of masculinity. It's kind of a Democrat hellhole. Though I'm sure they'll be great next year, like the Chicago Bears. Haha, sporting pun, because obviously they will not ever be.
The people who say these things don't actually spend time talking to young men. You know this because we know each other in real life, but I spend a lot of time on college campuses. And I spend a lot of time with
young men.
I love young men. I love frat guys.
I guarantee you they do not love her.
And in that, I realized, like, even the ones that identify as conservative are almost always pro-choice. They're almost always pro-gay marriage. You'd be surprised at the number of them who supported Black Lives Matter. And so I feel like people just...
Black Lives Matter, the founders who are self-admitted Marxists who wanted to destroy the nuclear family, also known as the thing that helped build humanity. Yeah, no.
Just kind of lump them into this box when the truth is, again, a lot of them are with us on the issues. They're just not part of our coalition because they feel like they're not welcomed in it.
No. And again, the Republicans, we'll see if they ever pass some pro-gun stuff. Again, the Senate may or may not sign off on the big beautiful bill. But, yeah, a lot of guys are into masculine. Oh, a lot of people would argue they're traditionally masculine things like, firearms, fitness. I mean, Democrats say fitness is white supremacy. That's how mentally vacuous they've become. Yeah. And I can't think of a single man who likes or owns guns that have ever voted Democrat. Have ever voted to literally have your property stolen from you or confiscated, made illegal. Again, that's not the number one issue when it comes to politics. It's I'd say it's one of the top 10 issues is, the Second Amendment, firearm rights. And it usually doesn't get too much discussion, but I mean, shoot, every guy I know, I was going to say, I'm trying to think if I know if I know any guys who do not own a gun. I think those are called Democrats. And there's like 2 of them, maybe. And this went pretty well. I got 3 million views and 5.7 thousand likes. One of the first comments coming to us thanks to our favorite contrarian, the gas stove, who says, quote, real conservative men hate Trump, gained 37 likes. DT says, get another booster shot. Cuck, getting 21 likes. Let's see. Bobby says, you are gay and retarded for sure, getting 2 likes. Gwen says, you're just a little troublemaker, are you? Getting 2 likes. So this person's they're actually not ratioed by number of likes. By number of comments, yeah, quite a few. Going to the main comment section, you have the undercurrent saying, quote, the left really thinks they can win young men by making up a version of conservatism that only exists in their group chats. Delusion isn't a strategy, it's just embarrassing. Gained 1.3 thousand likes. Yeah, it is. Though it also is moderately entertaining as well. And shoot, I mean, politically, I hope they keep doing that because it'll be so epically, it'll be the huge disaster. The party also says you can't have a fun V8 sports car. You gotta have an EV or an hybrid with de facto bans on gas engines. Another thing guys usually like, cars. Muscle cars, baby. With stick shifts and, good old V8, maybe V10, maybe even a V12. Get some Italian engineering up in here. Those are what dreams are made of, many would argue. Again, they're the party that wants to ban it and has banned it in many ways across the globe. We look at leftism and authoritarianism. They hate the freedom of vehicles and automobiles. That's why every year they make them worse and worse in terms of they have all these extra rules, laws, regulations to take away the most fun vehicles. You also have Mirthful Moments, who says, quote, what Democrats did in the first 100 days. Cry, whine, scream, yell, protest, judge, shop, visit illegal wife beater, domestic terrorism, SWAT conservatives, sit on steps for crying, filibusters, key and blow up Teslas, more screaming, more whining, more crying. Democrats absolutely have zero for American people ever. Or they do zero for the American people ever. Okay, 451 likes. Mirthful Moments also says, quote, why are they always trying to support the worst members of society? There's a picture compilation of Luigi, who killed the CEO of United Healthcare. You have George Floyd, who's, career druggie who robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint famously and, died of an overdose. You have Carmelo Anthony, who went into a opponent's tent at a sporting event in high school and stabbed him to death. Yeah, 153 likes for that. The Facts Dude says, quote, word to the wise, these two aren't influencing conservatives. Yeah, there's a 0% chance. You have a very weak-looking beta male and a very large, mentally uninformed fat gal. Now, I guess it could be worse. I am surprised she does not have short purple or blue hair. That is usually a staple of leftism. But yeah, they're not winning over anyone's hearts and minds. You also have I Don't Care Bear says, quote, I fully support the strategy. In fact, please double down on the midterms. I get 137 likes. Crazy Vibe says, quote, Democrats love illegal aliens over U.S. citizens, criminals over law-abiding citizens, government employees over taxpayers, men and women's sports, big pharma over health, teachers' unions over parents, war over peace, China over America. Getting 213 likes, 19 likes, going up like a stock. E.T. Browning says, quote, is she part of the consulting firm they paid $20 million to get help in this area? Getting 506 likes. Gina Broderick simply says, holy shit, she's gross. Getting 619 likes. Let's see. Emilio says, quote, I think we should all just shut up and let them do what they're doing because we can't hurt them anymore. They're killing themselves. Getting 220 likes, which, yeah, I mean, they are also neutering themselves to protest Trump, which is the peak of mental disorder. Let's see. Scroll down more and more. That's a little bit long, but I like the statistics, so I'll pull it up. Sagisa Eternia says, quote, Olivia Julianna's claims that conservative men are pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, pro-BLM is a delusion, misread of reality. First, data consistently shows conservatives are overwhelmingly support pro-life policies. 73% of Republican men oppose abortion on demand. That's from Gallup 2024. Trump push to defund Planned Parenthood and appoint pro-life justice resonates with the base, proving Julianna's disconnect. Second, while in some conservatives soften on gay marriage, 59% of Republican men still vote in favor of traditional marriage definitions. Pew poll for 2023. Trump's focus on religious liberty and family values aligns with the majority, not Julianna's fantasy of rainbow-waving right. Finally, BLM's Marxist roots and divisive rhetoric alienated conservative men, with only 12% of them viewing them as favorable. That is from a Rasmussen poll in 2024. Trump's law and order stance and rejection of identity politics cement his appeal. Julianna's advice is a fever dream. Allow, who is this? Sagizi Eternia for unfiltered truth. Getting 260 likes. You also have, and Don't Call Me Shirley, great airplane reference, says, I love, here's her I love young men quote, says, mostly cooked or boiled, but raw if she hasn't eaten in several hours. Which, 12 likes for that, and a very poorly worded comment. Going down, I'm trying to see if there's anyone sticking up for her. 2A James says, who watched this for at least 20 seconds and assumed the effeminate boy speaking was a Democrat activist Olivia Julianna Broderick? Because I can't be the only one. Getting 55 likes. Oh no, I thought, when I first saw the screenshot, I thought that. I mean, again, it's also the party that cannot define what a man or woman is. Let's see. Calm Test says, interesting how Olivia loves to talk to frat boys, but I wonder how many love to talk to her. Is it possible that they give her answers she wants to hear just to stop talking to her? 48 likes. Yeah, that's a possibility. So yeah, when it comes to Democrat strategy, mean, maybe I should hope they continue down this road, but I think this is perhaps the most ineffective methodology to try to gain back the young male vote. I just can't help but think this is going to fall flat in their face, which in her case would be detrimental because, maybe, might cause an earthquake. But let me know your thoughts and comments because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say today. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.